we are live.
Right.
Alright, you two, don't be too talkative now.
Hang on, I'm setting up myself over here.
Ah, gotcha.
Where'd you find this background?
I made it. I just typed Mary Sue into Google Images and went for it.
It's Theresa broken down to her base elements.
Yes.
I'm focusing in on one element of the bottom left picture. Looks suspiciously like author. I really hope not in this situation.
God. Hello, Darius.
Hi, Darius.
Welcome to the suffering.
Part 2.
Yes.
Electric Boogaloo.
In space.
Hello, Mr. Kuhn. Glad you could join us again.
The father, what's up?
Hello, the father. Oh, God. That's quite a background, thank you. Oh, boy. So, yeah, most of us came from Rudy's stream of bringing back Buffy and Angel to this.
What? 5-star restaurant?
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yes. Rudy.
Not happening, Rudy.
Alright, let's wait a couple more minutes for people to get in here. Kenzie and I singing entry Suffering. What about Raptor? Why does he get a pass?
Because it was his idea.
Touché. I guess trees are tall. What? Okay, wait, we're sitting on a tree?
Yes.
How you get on a tree? I don't know, you're the one who said it.
Yeah, this is your own little weird fan fiction, Rudy.
Jesus, Fruits, don't think I've ever heard something so... What? How is it accurate? Again, no one is explaining how we're sitting on a tree.
No one's on a tree. No one's in a tree.
Raptor
I will not eat green eggs and ham.
Raptor is too young to be on the tree. As his parent, it's my job to keep him safe.
Whoa, Rudy. Raptor is my anti-pun son, so I think we're gonna have to do so. We're gonna have to go head to court, fight for custody.
Anti-pun son, I like that.
Raptor, you unfortunately get no say in this.
Raptor's a dino fellow, he's not prone to suffering like humans. Alright, so 30 more seconds and then we'll start.
Yeah.
And Kenzie, for a second there, it sounded like you were going back to Darius's Scooby-Doo comment last night. You were like, oh, like whoa, row. Starting to...
What?
Your third whoa, you said row. It's like, are you starting to go Scooby on us?
Oh no, I might just be having a stroke. Shut up.
Yeah, I adopted Raptor as well. He can have a mum and an eldritch caretaker as a treat. One will have to
Fair.
go to parent jail. Raptor's arms are too small to climb trees, and the branches would crumble under his immense weight.
Jesus, Darius, are you calling Raptor fat?
Don't listen
Not
to
that big
him,
of a
Raptor.
dinosaur. 4 feet tall.
Okay, it's been 30 seconds. We really got to get this show on the road.
Yes. Okay, so thanks to Raptor, we're going to open... Rudy, go to pun jail. We're going to open with the author's review of the book.
Oh
no. If an author reviews his own work, he must not wander far from the facts. I'll try to remember that.
Next to doubt.
Yes. First of all, here's a very brief review from Iggy on the Amazon listing. Nice work, Norman Bouton. Why do you lie? Keep up the good work. I enjoyed the story thoroughly. Short as it is, it said everything I hoped for. Iggy enjoyed the story thoroughly. An author could not want anything more than that. When I was young, I read some stories that I thoroughly enjoyed and couldn't get enough. Okay, I feel like this was the day he just discovered the word thoroughly. If you've had that experience, you know the feeling I try to share with other people. I wrote Empress Theresa with that feeling in mind. I do not believe that for a moment. Nearly all works of fiction are about characters trying to work their way through a minefield of irresistible, immutable forces. So what happened with this book? Empress Theresa is about an individual's endeavors changing history and making the world a better place.
no. History, reality, you know.
Hello, Bagel. A story written solely for the purpose of being a story must have a limited audience, the group of people interested in that kind of story. Empress Theresa aims at a larger audience.
An ironic audience, hopefully.
Audience of masochists. Us.
The meaning of the kind of person Theresa is applicable to all people.
Debatable.
Yeah. And no, I did not star there. There are two is in that sentence. Notice that she has no job. Oh yeah, she's, what, 10? She's a student with only 1 year of college. She could be anybody. What the story says about human nature is more important than the plot specifics, and addresses all people's needs. What it says about human nature, that we're all pedos?
Well, I know Rudy can't definitely apply themselves to Theresa, because Theresa loves 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't be everyone.
At the beginning of Chapter 5, Prime Minister Blair tells Theresa the world population is threatened with starvation. I would say spoilers, but who the fuck cares? Only Theresa can stop it. She isn't like this turn of events. I feel... Okay, I'll try and do Kenzie's...
Unless she can shoot pies out of her belly button. I don't think world hunger is an issue that one person can solve.
I want pie. I feel like running away. You couldn't stop me. I know we could. All I wanted to do was be a high school math teacher. You can teach millions something more important. When the world falls apart around us, we look within ourselves and find ourselves. Okay.
Empress Theresa is aimed at the author, because I'm going to throw a copy of the book at him.
Excellent. Show us what's within you. Please don't. I had no response to that. How did I know what was within me? Nothing could have prepared me for this
Are you
kind of
fucking taking my job?
Well, I mean, you're not reading this, are you?
I have it up. Raptor put the link in the Discord.
You did tell me that. I'm sorry. But Theresa is wrong. Oh, the Mary Sue is wrong? We know she's prepared because we've already seen what's within her. The first 4 chapters...
So, wrong for the right reasons. Still a Mary Sue trait.
Yes. The first 4 chapters showed us she was raised in a good family environment. Was she? I mean, her parents never seem to be around. She has no attitudes. Well, yeah, no one has more than one attitude unless they have dissociative identity disorder or axe to grind. She believes.
Flaws.
Yeah, well, she doesn't seem.
Believability.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to care about anything. Even
Rudy, how can a 10-year-old like 2001: A Space Odyssey? When I was 10, I was preoccupied eating sand and finding out if I could draw on walls. Rudy, you were an odd 10-year-old.
she believes in something greater than herself, which is essential to being a full human being. Such a person is the most effective. She is courageous even in the face of what she believes is certain death. From what I've read about her, she doesn't have to worry about death or anything, really. She
Yeah, it
sounds...
seems like the government has her back on everything.
Well, that, like, from what I've read later in the story, she's basically omnipotent.
She's a goddess of death.
She's a nobody from nowhere who rose up to become the most powerful and important person on Earth. Okay, see, you were saying earlier that she's just like everyone else.
You hear that, everyone from Massachusetts? You fucking nobodies.
All she wanted was the one thing she could have, a quiet, private life. Wait, I thought she wanted to better the world. Oh, God. Every human being must consider his mortality and the question of eternity. Oh, why just his? Huh? Sexist.
I mean, why do we have to question eternity? I'm pretty content with the concept of it.
Yeah. Somebody may pretend to be indifferent, but this pose is only in the intellect. This pose is only in the intellect. The fuck does that mean? The will must decide. Okay, will is not like a sentient thing. It's something that you have.
Keep going. What did I say about nitpicking?
Yes, Theresa has made her decision and her soul is at peace with it. She chose the way to a happy life. Is Empress Theresa a Christian novel? If an alien from another planet read the story, he would have no idea what a Christian was.
Lucky
Guess about the
bastard.
alien.
No religious dogma are explained. In Chapter 4, Theresa makes a few general observations about why she believes in God, so she believes in herself, but these ideas apply equally to people of any faith. Someone might accept these ideas and never step foot in a church building all his life. The opening paragraphs give much information about the main character. They deserve close examination.
Some slack. I really did think this was probably going to be a case of an old guy shoving his religion down our throats in a book he wrote, but
Yeah.
I'm not. At least he's admitting, like, nah, she like thinks about it for a little bit, but I'm not like trying. Anyone can read it.
Alright, Kens, this is from Theresa's point of view. Do you want to read that?
Yep. Well, this is the first paragraph from the first chapter.
Yeah, but it's her introducing herself.
All right, fair. I'm Theresa, the only child of Edward and Elizabeth Sullivan, and I hope it's not bragging to say I was cute as heck at age 10. Everybody in the family said so. What I didn't know is that they're biased because they're related to me. I was the princess in the Sullivan clan of Framingham, Massachusetts. Because besides being cute, I was a whiz at school and had a good disposition. All the relatives expected great things for me. Now excuse me while I continue to jack myself off.
We've learned several things about Theresa. No, we really didn't.
Oh.
She's cute, smart, and has a good personality.
Ugh.
If by narcissistic you mean good personality, then yeah. She has good family support.
Correct.
I'll say, as the resident narcissist, I fucking hate other narcissists.
She's just the
Only I can be the most awesome person in the room.
Oh, you are.
I fucking know.
Aside from me. She uses the word disposition in the modern in the modern sense of personality, emotional effect, but it also has the old meaning of habitual tendency or inclination towards certain manners of behavior, especially towards good especially towards good of evil. Teresa's
reading a bit into the first opening paragraph, isn't it?
Yes. Teresa's disposition in the old sense will become very important to the world. So far, she seems no different from a million other girls.
Really? Because if there's anything that the first chapter tried to establish, it would seem that it was just brimming with, I'm not like other girls.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take this.
Yeah.
Nobody could have dreamed of what I would do in a few years later, and nobody would have believed it if they'd been told. I'm just noticing how long this is.
Yeah.
For the first part of it.
Wait, there's more than one part?
I think it goes over the entire book.
I think we need to just get a...
Yeah, well,
I think this is something maybe we should look back in once we read the whole book.
yeah.
Okay, but before we start the novel proper,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to quote this one really epic quote from this revision of this website.
Please do.
Sure.
Sure.
Someone wrote this review on June 13th, 2017. Quote, "This is the single worst book I've ever read. I didn't buy it because you don't deserve money. I downloaded the free version and slogged through the bizarre, lewd, disgusting Christian propaganda that is this book.
King.
Just never write anything again."
Oh, you don't deserve money.
Seems that Amazon allows people a free look at the Kindle version. Permits people like this cheapskate non-believer to write trash reviews. Stops now. I'm deleting the Kindle edition!
Wait, he's deleting the Kindle edition? Yeah, that worked out real well.
Yeah, I bought it the other day
Oh,
for like $2.99.
yeah. Oh, yes, Darius, we're reading the entire book.
Yeah, Darius, what the hell? You were the one to keep reminding of us the page count.
Yeah. What the hell, man? Alright, so yeah, let...
Quick, pop quiz, Darius. How many pages are there in Empress Theresa?
Dun, 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 dun.
No, we're reading it. We gotta go.
Okay, yeah, so let's get into this. Chapter 2. The high school years go by quickly when you're having a good time, and I did. The strength and throwing accuracy Hout gave me got me on the boys' baseball team where I was a star pitcher.
Very progressive. Very
Did you
cool.
not have a softball team?
I threw the ball up to 85 miles an hour, rarely seen in a high school kid and never in a girl. God.
Hashtag I'm not like other girls.
Actually, I could have thrown the ball well over 100 mph, but I had to hold myself back or people would realize there was something special going on. Oh my god, my speed was explained as being the advantage of being small, like a lightweight boxer, much faster than a heavyweight, but not as strong. No, that's not how that works. That is not how that works at all. You fucking moron. Okay, I need to go on a small rant here. Being, like, more muscled does not make you slower. It makes you less flexible, less agile, but speed comes from muscle contraction. It works like a rubber band. Having more muscle means that you're going to be able to punch and move faster.
Thank you, Bill Nye.
Oh, please don't compare me to him.
What?
He went full cringe.
Bill Nye is based, and I will forever maintain that stance.
Uh-huh.
Read!
Where the hell was I?
In middle school.
In middle school, I'd play unofficial baseball with a group of boys who recognized my talents. You mean, like, simps? When the playing field wasn't being used, we went out there and practiced. I was still 12 when people started hanging around the field watching us. They were amazed at what I could do with the ball. The high school baseball coach.
I'm getting flashbacks to last night.
I'm just imagining, like, all these people standing around, like, Chris Hansen appears, like, behind them, his eyes glowing. Why don't you all take a seat?
If you want an example of a childhood hero who became cringe, look no further than Chris Hansen.
True. The high school baseball coaches came around one day and the boys made sure I was on the mound all the time. They wanted me on the boys' team. The coaches seemed interested, but were they impressed enough to let me on the team? There had been a few
Danger.
there had been a few girl quarterbacks around the country. This usually happened at a small school where they had a hard time recruiting enough boys to make a football team. So being a pitcher on a boys' baseball team wouldn't be such a big deal, you'd think. And it wasn't. Okay, so there, the whole the whole obstacle is just overcome in that sentence.
You'd think there'd be conflict. No.
I mean,
Teresa's just that perfect.
yes,
Destroyed sexism.
I made the boys' team in my freshman year. I was on television all the time. Oh, go fuck yourself. Now I learned something about the world. People said bad things about me on the internet.
Go figure.
Okay, I know we said we're not actually playing a drinking game, but I am going to take a drink for, like, the author's self-owning there.
Do you think Teresa has a DVD of her TV appearances? Chris Tran did?
Yes.
Manny, I actually have some bad news. I can't partake in a drinking game. We are out of White Claws.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I just have Gatorade and I'm sad.
That's fine. Oh, and Kenzie, Gemma says she'll keep an eye out.
I just noticed her change in name on Discord. But we can't send her to Pun Jail because she's already there.
I'm sorry, what?
Look at her new name.
Ah, General Kenobi.
There it is.
Actually, can you guys hold on a sec? I have to take a call.
He's gone. Quick, Raptor, let's hijack this thing.
Who should we first? Well, who should we first? Or me? Who should we first? You or me?
You want to read? Because I'm still just dedicating myself to voicing Theresa.
Okay,
If you want me to read, though.
I mean, I'll read for you.
Okay.
So which part are we on?
I wouldn't have thought it was possible.
I wouldn't have thought it was possible. Complete strangers on the internet social media said all kinds of terrible things about me.
It's like he knew ahead of time.
Do what?
Even
if he could foresee the future reviews of this book.
Okay.
Fuck me.
No.
Son of a whore. Okay.
Let's keep this going.
Alright, sorry. Banging my knee. Oh. Okay.
Hi, Mr. Shadier. Welcome.
Yes.
You didn't really miss much. We're just starting chapter 2.
I wouldn't have thought it was possible. Complete strangers on the internet social media said all kinds of terrible things about me.
No.
Even worse for the websites that a few people started about me. They questioned my
No one had that kind of time to dedicate to you.
Yeah. They questioned my sexual orientation or said I must have gone to bed with the coach to get on the team. You're 12.
No one would say that about a child.
Yeah. They
except
said I was...
other children, and I don't think other children would have made websites at the time.
Yes, guys, I'm okay. Thank you. They said I was making out with everybody on the team. There was nothing I could do about these people. I didn't know their names or addresses. They were internet trolls, jealous cowards who attack from the safety of anonymity and distance. I was told my only strategy was to ignore them.
You can never ignore us, and Theresa.
This is clearly like this guy has had a brush with trolls before he wrote this book.
Do we know anything he did beforehand?
I don't. Raptor?
Pretty sure Empress Theresa was like the only book he ever published. Magnum opus.
Oh, jeez.
To Mockingbird.
Well, maybe like before he published it. Because you said, Manny, you said before that he posted his stuff on Wattpad before it was actually published, right?
I heard that.
So maybe if that was true before he published it into a book, maybe this was something he made sure to insert right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Come to think about
I'll
it,
show you.
And,
I think he did like post a few early passages of the book on some writing forums just to get some advice. Learn about what you think it would.
And then he was actually told, no, you actually need to improve rather than just get metaphorical dick sucks, and he probably lost his shit.
Yes. And Cameron, you should absolutely go back and watch the first stream and like and comment and subscribe.
You too poor.
It's my channel. Okay, yeah, we need to get on with this though. Being young, I felt this pain of rejections strongly. Kids couldn't deal with this. I complained to the school principal, and a teacher took it upon herself to counsel me. Mrs. Steinfeld. Okay, we need to do a Jerry Seinfeld voice. One of my teachers approached one day and explained these trolls. Who wants to take Steinfeld?
I don't think I could probably give an accurate impression.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's same here.
Okay, I'll try. These kids are being defiant. You are beautiful, intelligent, and you're often on television.
Oh, give me a break.
You're a sports star. You have straight A's and high morals. High morals! All these things represent what people want in kids. You're the daughter every parent wants. You're the student every teacher wants. The young person society wants. You fulfill all the authority's expectations.
Nerd!
Norman, do you have kids? Have they read this?
You know the answer is no.
You never know, like, imagine if he had kids and they read this. They just look at him like, what the fuck, Dad?
Hello, Emperor Crimson. And yes, smash that motherfucking like button. Everyone listen to Crimson. So these kids attack you. Don't let them bother you. There's one last question a person should ask before she dies. Do I feel good about who I was?
Okay, but what do I do now?
There isn't anything you can do helpful. Just try to think of the future. When you go to college, nobody will ask how your high school was, and you won't care least of all. I mean, if you make friends, they might ask about that, like try to get to know you.
She's not gonna make friends. But, like, yeah, there is something she can do. Just not go on the internet. Or if she does, just avoid the sites and places where she knows people are posting about her.
Exactly. But wait. She's not going to make friends? I think that's the author projecting again.
What?
I think the author is projecting about the whole, like, no one will care about your past. No one will want to know about you. Projection. Bye, Bagel. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Bagel.
There was a TV commercial years ago I never forgot. A young woman had 3 horses and bought a 4th, a miniature horse only 2 feet high. She put the little horse in the corral with the 3 normal-sized horses. They sniffed the little horse and ran away from him. And I just realized this explanation is like 4 paragraphs long. What am I getting into?
And that little horse was me.
It was me. But it was a horse.
The little horse had very short legs and couldn't run. He walked towards the big horses, who kept running away. He followed them everywhere but couldn't get within 50 feet of them. Again, everyone in this fucking book carries around a tape measure. Finally, the little horse gave up and stared at the big horses and towards the house where the young woman watched out of her window. It was very sad. The little horse didn't understand why he was being rejected.
What is this commercial selling?
How long was this commercial?
This had to be a Super Bowl commercial.
Then the woman ordered something online. That was the commercial. That was what the commercial was about. She ordered
An toy jaguar.
No, keep going, keep going.
She ordered a dog door for the front door of her house.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon where you just take a hole and throw it on a wall, because that's how that works. You bought a doggy door. You know, you kind of have to make it first.
Now the little horse could come into the house and be with the woman anytime he wanted. She talked to him and patted him on the head while she read a book or watched television. Intelligent animals like horses and dogs love close contact with humans. We must seem like gods to them. Not you. The little horse ended up better off than the other horses. Keep plugging away, Theresa. You will be better off than these trolls. They can't follow where you will go. I mean,
That's a stretch.
Wait.
By plugging away, do you mean like having a vulpine vomit softball like plugged into her torso?
Where are the end ellipses? I can't find them. Where are they?
No ellipses.
This is confusing me.
What?
Where did they go? Did they walk off the page? They quit?
I don't know.
Even they don't want to be associated with Empress Theresa.
I saw
Oh
why
my
the
God, keep
trolls
going.
were angry. They knew they couldn't go where I was going. I'd have a good life. They wouldn't. What they said made no sense. They were really mixed up big time. I blame the parents for not raising them right.
Oh. Or they saw that you're massive ego and wanted to take you down a peg.
Exactly. My parents did a good job teaching me the important things. What I learned came to mean something when I was 10. Okay, why are you jumping around all the time from your age? I didn't know what Hal would mean to me at first. Okay, you're really just ripping off Space Odyssey and calling it Hal. But gradually I came to understand that someday I would have great responsibilities. And with great power... Okay, no. By the time I was 15, I was almost grown up. Congratulations, you understand how puberty works.
Hey.
My mom, who came from another town, went to a Catholic high school. A teacher told her something the ancient Greeks said. An unexamined life is not worth living. Know
Catholic
thyself.
school was not teaching about ancient Greece. Are you kidding me?
Yes, exactly. Mom said too many people never question who they are and how they're doing. This is a fast track to disaster. They're not equipped to get through troubles and be successful. The television news showed examples every day. You could just say the news. My parents gave a good example of the kind of people to be. I'd have to write a book about them to explain.
Please don't.
Yes. It's enough to say I wanted to be a woman like Mom and wanted a husband like Dad.
That says it. Read the next line.
That says it all, don't you think?
Oh, it does say it all. And so does Electra Complex.
Yeah. Yeah, it says so much more than you think, Bhutan. So I thought a lot about who I was and who I wanted to become. this assured I would get there. No, just thinking about it does not assure anything. Nothing else had happened to me in high school besides the social media bozos' hatred.
Really, the combination of superpowers and puberty didn't pose any kind of developmental problems on your psyche? Cool, good to know.
Yeah,
God forbid we encounter any conflict.
yeah, who needs the X-Men when you've got Theresa?
It's Theresa.
The kids I hung around with weren't like the phony kids in Hollywood movies. That's because they're phony kids in Hollywood movies. They're not real.
Written by out-of-touch old people. Sound familiar?
They couldn't be because nobody likes obnoxious elitists who form cliques and wear fancy clothes, drive expensive cars, and lord over the less beautiful and talented. Nobody likes
Have superpowers and constantly stress how better they are than everyone else.
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Nobody likes obnoxious elitists. Really, Bhutan? Eventually, people like that have nobody's respect. In the movies, the cheerleaders are cliquish snobs who make all the other girls feel inferior. In my school, the cheerleaders were my friends. Of course they were.
I'll give him that. I'll give him at least some credit for at least trying to avoid the pitfalls of high school tropes.
I guess.
Because I don't like those kinds of stereotypes either. The cheerleader's a bitch, the quarterback's an idiot asshole.
Yeah.
The nerds are the nicest people on the face of the planet. We're nerds and we're all assholes. Look what we're doing on a Thursday night.
Exactly.
We're making fun of an old man.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I just love the young people.
Yeah, except Raptor in Bhutan's case, that has more than one meaning.
No.
You cannot convince me otherwise. They were among the best athletes in school and admired a girl pitcher on the boys' team. They suggested I try out for their cheerleader team, but I decided I had my share of celebrity.
Oh, aren't you humble?
Yes. Let some other girl cheer. Anyways is not a word. My schoolmates were good kids, and they probably were at your school too. I mean, I had a lot of schoolmates. I can't say they were all good.
Yeah, I graduated with a class of over 400. I didn't bother getting to know every one of them.
Yes. Although, I gotta say, like, strangely, like, everyone at least knew my name somehow. I don't know. It was very disconcerting. Beginning of my senior year, still only 16 after skipping the 6th grade, we know. I began to think about college. I had one more thing to worry about that other kids didn't. What about Hal?
Really, it didn't seem to be a problem with the other 4 years of high school. Why start worrying about it now?
Did the government know anything about him that might guide me in what to study? I mean, they've done fuck all for the last, 6 years? It was time to meet Jan Struthers for an update.
Nope, you didn't say it right.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It was time to meet Jan Struthers for an update. She agreed to a meeting in a nearby Burger King. The noise-cave privacy as good the Sahara Desert to update each other's thoughts and info about Hal.
Huh?
I don't know. Yep, this top secret government agent who a 10-year-old can spot. Pretty high up, I'm guessing. Okay, let's go to Burger King. When I was 10 years old, I hadn't worried much about how the government had found Hal before he merged with me. They told you. They tracked it falling from space. Now I was curious and asked Jan about it. Oh, God. When you were 3 years old, an amateur astronomer in Arizona was looking for comets in lint. He had a telescope in his backyard. He noticed a curved streak of light in the sky. I'm sorry,
Convenient.
I almost read that as a curved steak.
It was delicious.
A comet will move in a straight line, not a curve. That's actually wrong. He sent a message to all his comet hunting friends.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting comets.
His comet hunting friends. Oh, God. I can do this.
And you?
Yes. Please have some faith in me. And the government heard about it. The military set up planes to watch this thing coming down to Earth. It was 100-foot wide white ball. It headed down to Framingham, and helicopters watched it reach the ground. You think it would have caused a gigantic explosion for being 100 feet wide? They thought it might bounce or explode when it hit the ground. It didn't. It just went into the ground without rustling the leaves on the trees as it passed through. The helicopter crews couldn't believe their eyes.
Yeah.
President Sheffield authorized... President Sheffield.
It's Mr. Sheffield from The Nanny, new canon confirmed.
Authorized a secret office in the Pentagon headed up by Nanny Fine, the Office of Orbital Phenomena Surveillance. Oops for short. Oh, fuck you!
Prophetic.
Oops for short. Go
This
fuck
entire
yourself,
book
Bhutan!
is oops.
Oops.
I will bend you over backwards, drop your trousers, and shove your own head up your ass.
Say.
Oh my God. Oops. Oh, fucking Christ.
Really? This is your tipping point?
Yes. Straw that broke the camel's back. It was supposed to keep track of all the space junk we put into orbit and the lint. Its real purpose was to watch for anything going on anywhere in the world that would be something Hal was doing. 7 years later, Hal merged with you and gave off enough heat for a few hours to bring it in the fire trucks. Yeah, that 115-degree heat that anything could have caused. This was the kind of thing was looking for. I'm not saying it. They came to your street.
Come on, you coward.
This was the kind of thing, was looking for. They came to your street and aimed sensitive infrared cameras at everything. They saw the heat coming from you. President Gardner had an intelligence agency set up your watchers. Kenzie.
Wait, I'm still trying to catch up. So, 3 years ago, when Teresa was 3 years old, is when the comet was spotted.
Yeah.
So how long did it take to land?
Well,
'Cause
they said that's when it landed.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're right, because
And then it just cuts to, and they couldn't believe their eyes. And then we have Mr. Sheffield, sending out oops, and then they track her down. So
yeah, well, what were they doing for 7 years?
And like the fox, like Hausen, like I first came like to Teresa's family when she was like in the womb.
Yeah.
they didn't
fox
see it in the
possessed
fox. They had to wait until it vomited it at this little girl.
Yeah, like, was it just like, wow, guys, check this out? Just stare at for a few seconds. Well, I guess we should get it back to the lab. Oh, no, a fox just ran away with it. Oh, well, nothing we can do now.
They interrogate every single fox in the world for 7 years.
Just hold up a picture of a white ball. Have you seen this? Huh? I don't believe you! Just like throw.
Oh my god, we have to keep going.
The
Splash.
Joker's interrogation scene from The Dark Knight, except instead of the Joker and Batman, the Fox and an Oops agent.
Where is it?
Where's the ball?
It just looks at him and doesn't talk because it's a fucking fox.
Tries to like backhand the fox to interrogate it, but just like ends up biting his wrist, like get it off.
Oh, and did we mention it has rabies?
That's the whole thing. Theresa didn't get superpowers. The fox bit her and she got rabies and started hallucinating all of this.
She should be dead.
Empress Theresa Fury.
Okay. When you rented that 2001 movie, they knew you were aware of Hal. How? The president wants somebody to go talk to you and find out what you do, but you're only
Rudy's
10
still
years
here.
old. What's that?
Is Rudy still here?
I don't think so.
Oh god, they're gonna lose it when they realize just how big a plot point this whole Space Odyssey bullshit is.
I was chosen because they thought you would trust a young woman with lint. Jan and I updated each other on our thoughts. I hadn't heard a peep out of Hal in the 6 years since he merged with me.
Makes you think it's possible.
Yeah, what? At what point did you? What led you to believe that this thing was capable of speech? It is a ball.
Because you gave it a name doesn't mean it's sentient.
Wait, you're saying that the cardboard box I named Colin isn't sentient? He's not going to talk eventually?
Raptor, do you want to tell him?
Okay, at least tell me one of you got the reference.
No.
In the show Spaced, before Daisy always wanted a dog as a kid, but her parents wouldn't let her have one, so she dragged a box around on a leash and called it Colin. And then she gets a dog, and she's like, "Come on, Colin, we're taking you away from this horrible place." Colin? That's what I called my box! Okay. It was a safe bet he didn't travel a million light years just to watch me take shower. Excuse me?
Again, just because you gave it a name doesn't mean it's like peeping on you in the shower.
Hold on. How to call FBI. And neither could he be interested only in me.
Chris Hansen comes in and just starts talking to this girl's stomach. Hal, I'm gonna need you to come out here and have a seat.
His interest must be the world, but for some mysterious reason he'd chosen me as his base of operations. That sounds so wrong. Perhaps he had no real interest in me at all. Bullshit, not with this book. But only used my senses to see and hear the world I lived in. Perhaps...
Nope, I'm gonna latch onto that. I'm clinging to this. I'm clinging to this theory because it'll lessen the blow every time she just jacks herself off for the rest of the book.
Okay, Mr. Coon, you made the whole oops thing worth it. Oops, open up! So Hal's a nonce? Yes, Hal's a nonce. And again, I think that's some projection. Perhaps he had no real interest in, perhaps he'd leave me sometime and merge with somebody else. As for why so much time was spent watching me, Jan revealed that, no other Hal had been detected anywhere in the world. I was an exclusive club of one. Okay, again, narcissism aside, that's it. They're just calling this in any potential others of its species, I guess, Hals. They're gonna get sued. Kenzie.
How did you know there's no other Hal? Did you ask around?
Because it's that simple. No, if we did that, somebody would talk. And even if we didn't give your name, your watchers would know that's why they watch you.
Excuse me, sir. Did a fox just project a ball right into your stomach? 911. Yes, hello. Can someone please get this weird lady?
They would give you away. Years ago, we noticed a column of disturbed air above you that goes straight up to space. Disturbed air? What?
He listens to System of a Down and wears black a lot.
Oh, I was gonna say, what, did watch The Human Centipede 2? Also, air does not go up to space. Bhutan, you dribbling retard. We see it with Doppler radar! He knows that word because it's on the news! It's too faint to be seen by those weather stations.
Jewish laser beams, it doesn't mean it's true.
It's too faint to be seen by those weather station Doppler radars because they scan horizontally. But we can see it with a radar beam aimed down. We set up a spy satellite looking for these columns, and yours was the only one we found. And some lint.
God, QAnon believers would actually be frothing at the mouth if they read shit like this. How much does a satellite cost?
Over 100 million. Mostly it's the rocket.
Very important stuff. Totally.
Okay, this is kind of her saving grace. Tell you what, give me the money and I'll give you Hal.
Okay. The talk moved on. What Hal was made of and how he worked was still a mystery. More important was his purpose. What could that be? It could be anything. Jan was reminded of those lines in the movie Contact.
Oh hey, it's another movie reference.
I'm sorry, I just need a minute.
Writing 101. If you have to reference better works to establish rules in your own piece of work, don't.
Yeah.
Because it just makes your audience want to go and consume those better pieces of media.
I'm sorry, I just needed a second there because that reminds me of a great creepypasta moment.
Which is?
Can you just imagine, like, if something like this happened to us, like, someone breaks into the house, so Gemma and I are hiding in the closet. She's like, Jacob. Hey, Jacob. What? Have you seen Contact? What? That movie, Contact. You think you're gonna see the alien at the end, but it just turns out to be Jodie Foster's father? Why are you talking to me about this right now?
Mr. Kun, what space movie are you gonna reference next? Jason X? No, better. The Leprechaun in Space.
Yes.
I'm dying. Yeah, that's great, but have you heard of the Leprechaun in Space?
Okay. The Leprechaun in Space. Love it. A female astronomer is about to go on a trip to meet an alien race we know. Oh my god, it's actually describing the movie. Technicians give her a cyanide pill.
To be fair, I've never seen Contact.
You're not missing anything.
But it's informative.
It's 2 hours of nothing. Like, oh, aliens have showed us how to build a device to get in contact with them. Okay, Jodie Foster's 2 hours later is going to go meet the alien. What's it going to look like? It's her father. I thought this would be a much easier form for you to accept.
Alright, maybe this is a video for another day.
Yeah. Technicians gave her a cyanide pill, saying they could think of 1,000 things that could go wrong. But what worried them most was what they couldn't think of. It's the same here. There's no guessing why Hal is here, or if he wants our lint. Jan, told me I must get as broad an education as possible to be ready to deal with any unimaginable challenge Hal gave me. Okay, and you took that advice by not thinking about what college you're going to attend until you're halfway through your senior year of high school.
Well, she is 16 if she wanted to probably do a break year.
True.
Again, it's bullshit that she's 16 and wants to have skipped a grade, but...
Yeah.
But also, something I want to point out, so she's telling her to get as broad an education to deal with any challenge that Hal could pose. But, like, what if he inhabited a human specifically to gain human knowledge to learn how to best defeat them? Wouldn't it probably be safer if she,
Yeah,
you know,
didn't learn things.
yeah, like just didn't do anything? Why do they not have her in a facility?
I don't know.
She should be, theoretically, she would be in Area 51.
Okay, I'm guessing this comment from Emperor Crimson is meant to be sarcastic. You know, I wish there was a part in Samurai Jack where they explained exactly how Jack was able to travel through time. It's 2 hours of nothing. Guess this author took notes. Thank you, Darius. I agree.
Character just explains to Jack, well, have you ever heard of Back to the Future?
You see, this Michael J. Fox plays this boy named Marty.
And then there's this guy who says Great Scott a lot. And then they go to the car and he almost fucks his mom.
Oh god, now I'm just thinking of one of my favorite lines ever. Oh, what's this? A lesson in screwing up time from Mr. I'm my own grandpa? Screw causality, let's go home!
Weapons?
What's that?
Epic drama weapons?
Yeah. Yeah, when they went back to the 1950s and Fry fucked his grandmother.
Classic.
Well, then who's my grandfather? Isn't it obvious? You are! Ah! Okay, it was
possible I would have.
I would have to be the ambassador between the world and the aliens. Of course. The odds were they'd be benevolent, but if not, I had to be prepared to deal with great difficulties.
Why? What odds? Where'd you get these odds?
Turns out her ass. What these might be was completely unpredictable. I had to be ready for anything. Other people thought about their home, their neighborhood, their town. I had to think globally. Oh my god, you insufferable. This was a new concept for me. In every book, movie, and TV show I'd ever seen, the issue was about something local. Never did the whole world become part of the story. What the fuck are you reading and watching? It was nearly
Someone's never seen
overwhelming.
Independence Day.
Yeah, seriously. How about you want to bet he's going to reference that eventually?
Oh god.
Okay, Kenzie, it's your line.
How much do you expect from me?
I asked. Don't lose sleep over it. You have the United States government ready to help you. But if Hal starts talking and asking questions, he may demand instant answers. You may have to
help, exploit, we're here regardless.
You may have to act quickly and protect your lint. You might need the knowledge of Thomas Jefferson.
And?
What? How to grow weed and fuck your slaves?
And?
And the wisdom of Abraham Lincoln. How to wear a really tall hat.
Newsflash, guys, racism is bad. Hal returns to whatever he came from. Well, I learned that humans all kind of agree that racism is bad. They just don't follow it.
Yes.
My fellow Hal aliens, I come back to you with this important piece of knowledge I learned from my expeditions with the human race.
Well, no, he comes back. Oh, what's up, Phil? Oh, you're talking to me? I've been used to being called Hal this whole time. What? Yeah, they keep referencing this overrated film. It's really weird.
Mr. Coon says, ah yes, Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln, famed alien ambassadors.
Yeah, clearly one hunted vampires, you fucking imbeciles.
Alright, oh, Kenzie, this fucking line for you.
Oh, is that all?
Nothing might happen for 40 years! 40 days and 40 nights! Don't worry about it now!
If I have that much time, I'll major in alien relations.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're such a wit.
College courses are getting weirder and weirder every year.
Yeah, oh my god. Okay, Jan herself forgot that her statement was a hypothetical. It could happen in 40 years. It could happen in the next 40 seconds.
We don't know, which is why we should have never told you anything about any of this to begin with.
But the thing
We
is,
suck as an organization.
yes. Oh.
Oops, his new slogan. Oops, we're bad at this.
Hey, no.
See,
Kenzie, we're suing.
We have it trademarked.
Yes. I got home from school before my parents got back from work and brought in the mail. In late March of my senior year, I got a letter with no postage stamp and no address except my name, Theresa Sullivan. Well, given the year this was probably written, that could be, according to the government, that could be an envelope full of anthrax. It read like this. Where is Jan Struthers?
where's Jan Struthers?
Where in the world is Jan Struthers?
Yes.
I don't actually know the tune to Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Okay, so yeah, this is Batman writing to her. Meet me in the Framingham Library, Saturday, 1:00 p.m. Jeremy Benton. Who the heck was Jeremy Benton? What?
Question.
Yes. What was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, did you say good question?
Yeah, I said good fucking question.
Oh, I just heard question, like you were saying you had a question. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
And what was he saying about Jan? Imagine
He was
how
asking where she was.
Imagine how reports furries as a separate species. Are we sure the author wasn't taking the piss? That this wasn't all a really big joke? I wish it was, Darius. I really wish it was. Jan had given me an email address I used to contact her to set up meetings such as the update meeting last fall. I can't read this without laughing. It was Jan's Watchers at snoop.gov.
At, not the little A in the little circle that you have over the 2 on your keyboard. At AT. That does not make a proper email address.
At snoop.gov. At snoopdog.gov? I could find no such government website. I wonder why.
If the leader of this organization is not Jan and like is a different character, we're making him Snoop.
Yes, yes. Obviously, it was something created just for her. Oh wow, someone else in the world gets something unique? You're so generous. I sent an email. A few minutes later, I got a response. Failure notice. No MX or A records for Snoop.gov. For the first time since Hal merged with me, I was afraid. Why? What happened to Jan? Who was Jeremy Benton and what did he want with me? Who could I talk to? Not to Mom and Dad! I was too afraid to go meet this guy. I decided not to meet him when I had a good idea. Father Donady knew
He's
everything.
back!
Yes. If I brought him along, what could happen at the public library? Father Donady and I entered the library and looked around. A neatly dressed man in his 40s waved to us from a corner table. You knew he was in his 40s, you asked. This had to be Jeremy.
Or it could have been someone who knew Father Dick.
Yeah. Or just a friendly person like, oh, hello. Lovely day at the library, isn't it? We walked over and he introduced himself. Raptor, you want to take this guy?
Hello, I'm Jeremy Benton, personal aide to Prime Minister Peter Blair. Okay, that was a terrible British accent. I apologize.
No, that was
What
perfect.
does England want now?
Please sit down.
Or what? You're gonna make us drink tea? Hey, don't call me Donutty. It makes me feel that. Other father. We sat, but instead of talking, Jeremy stared at me.
What's the matter?
I asked.
Seeing you close like this took my breath away.
911, yes, hello?
Yeah, oh my god!
No! Oh no! Oh god! You realize the effect you have on people! Oh my god!
Sir, I'm
Oh,
only
God!
16.
Oh my... He meant the effect I had on people who were aware that I was the world's telephone connection to the aliens?
Thank you for reassuring us. And not that he was gonna send her a dick pic later that night.
You know, he probably just typed up that line like, there, that'll do it.
Just so you guys know, guys, I swear he's not coming onto the minor.
Yeah, just like slaps it on there. No taking that out of context now.
It was like the one criticism he took seriously. This Jeremy guy sounds like a pedophile. They're fixed.
Again, just thinking Futurama. There, fixed forever.
Where were we?
I'm beginning to.
I'm beginning to.
Can we talk about Howl?
Sure.
I said.
Father Donutty knows them out. I can't say Donutty without laughing.
A friend,
Jan
Jan Struthers, showed a package of 4 volumes to Canadian Prime Minister Jean Turgeon. He sent it to Prime Minister Blair. It's clearly a crime for help.
Why are other countries getting involved? She even said they don't know if it'll even do anything. It could be 40 years.
It's almost like it's inconsistent writing from a dribbling mongoloid. I'm sorry. I'm not getting angry.
Bouton is so gonna try to sue you.
Joke's on him, I got nothing to sue for.
He'll sue for your ass.
Hey now.
What happened to Jan?
Don't know. All traces of her end when President Martin was sworn in.
Who's that now?
And when did this happen?
I'm guessing he's the great Daddy Obama in this world. Speaking on like 2012, right?
As I stand for you today. How do you know that?
We have people looking for her. She had credit cards and bank accounts. They were all closed. She seems to have disappeared from the earth.
I'm sorry, I just gotta cut in and say, like, I imagine, like, go find her. All these guys, like, walking around in random towns in the world. Jan! Jan! Oh crap, we can't find her anywhere.
We need your help with that top secret alien being that's trapped inside a minor in Massachusetts.
It's like
everyone looks at them. Pretend I didn't say that.
It's like that picture of Batman like driving through a town with the Batmobile's top down. It's got a megaphone. Has anyone seen the Joker? Batman, world's greatest detective. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Okay. Somebody thought she knew too much. And Struthers documented everything. The volumes contain thousands of pictures of you from age 10.
Whoa!
So the FBI has her.
Your activities day by day, your school records and papers, information about your parents and the people
The
who
song
live
you sing in the shower.
God. Okay, you went there, not me.
I assure you.
Well, we're already miles over the line. So,
You're right. You're right.
I assure you, no biography I've read has so much information about a human being.
Jan
Except for Chris
Struthers.
Chan. Hey, sorry. Put it again.
Jan Struthers.
Ask that if anything happened to you, the Canadian Prime Minister would make a big fuss about it to the press.
hi.
Apparently
Oh, yeah.
something
Canada to the rescue, guys.
big happened to
Jan Struthers.
the South. But the package she sent was actually mailed by her father, Charles Martinet Struthers. He had some kind of prearrangement. We have spied on her, father. She appears happy enough. His daughter appears safe somewhere.
That, or he's very good at acting and is well aware that because his daughter is a government agent, he would be spied up his ass day in and day out.
You know, I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking. None of this would have happened if President Sheffield and Vice President Nanny Fine were still in office.
For what?
Still in office.
Right?
I thought about all this while my companions waited. If they thought I had ideas about what the heck was going on, they were wrong.
What do you think happened?
I asked.
Your president, William Martin, was sworn in 2 months ago.
Wait,
May we assume he didn't know about how? What did you say?
wait, this is March, right?
Yes.
Maybe?
Okay, what? So. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
No, that makes sense. January.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just read something and assume that it's going to be wrong now.
Anyway. May we assume that he didn't know about you and Hal before then?
Yeah, Jan said somebody elected president is briefed on all burning issues before taking office so he could take off running. But I don't think Hal was an emergency. He didn't find out until he was sworn in.
We can presume he didn't like the table setting and changed it.
Didn't like the table. What?
Okay,
Yeah,
wow,
didn't Prime.
You really tried for that metaphor.
What?
The table setting.
The father. None of this would have happened if Princess Diana were alive. Yeah, didn't Prime Minister Blair ask him?
Lord, no! This might make things very difficult for your friend.
Oh, yeah.
The voice you chose just went perfectly with that.
Good lord, no.
Great! We had a perfectly harmless thing going on and President Martin didn't like it. What was he thinking?
What was he thinking?
What do you think President Martin is doing? Mostly tweeting bullshit.
It's impossible to guess. Prime Minister Blair assured me he would do nothing wrong.
But we don't know what kind of guy the president is. I mean,
You did
usually
pay
the
attention.
point of an electoral race is to kind of get a feeling of knowing who the electee is.
Exactly. But no, they were just like, oh, yeah, this guy looks cool, I guess I'll vote for him.
Now, granted, he's a politician, so he was probably lying up the ass about what kind of guy he was.
Yeah.
Because, politicians. But
Yeah, it's like in the book I'm reading, see, it's like a voting pamphlet. Look at me, I'm not a scumbag.
look at me as I kiss this baby.
Yeah. Or in some cases, sniff girls who are trying to get away from me.
Quite right. Had a President Gardner who knew a lot about you. He changed nothing about your arrangement with...
Who's President Gardner now?
I think they mentioned Gardner, like, very briefly, like 3 pages back.
What happened to Mr. Sheffield?
I think they said Gardner was the one who... It was like, Gardner replaced Sheffield, and then said nothing about Gardner.
Changed nothing about your arrangement with...
Oh, Miss Struthers.
No. Do you think President Martin may cause trouble for me?
Fucking Sheffield 2024. James
Thing is, we don't know
Struthers.
how he got into office in the beginning. He
So?
was born in England.
Yes.
We assumed she talked with him. Didn't like what he said.
Oh wait, Kenzie, do you think President Sheffield had Andrew Lloyd Webber assassinated?
No, he just locked him up in Guantanamo Bay. This is for producing cats. Did you see the movie adaptation?
Oh Christ, that looked terrifying. I mean, when you even have furries saying, "Good God, no," you know you fucked up.
Yeah. Where were we?
What do you suggest I do?
What do you suggest I do?
You could talk to President Martin yourself, or come to England with your parents. We'll give you new identity.
Okay, you could somehow talk to your president, just, like, phone him up. Or you could come to England and commit high treason. Father Donity spoke. Oh wait, who was Father Donity?
Good question. I don't know.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna retcon him as a, like an Irish Catholic priest. The Holy Father is interested in your case. We'll protect you in Rome. I had options. None of them were very good.
Imagine that. No, I'll wait a while and see what happens. Those weren't options given to you.
Miss Struthers.
Who's in this line? The British guy or the Irish guy?
I'm guessing this is British guy.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
Miss Struthers.
suggested we bring your situation to the public and get the public support. Perhaps you can do that yourself. Is there any way you can beat Howard's presence?
Father Donity touched my foot with his to warn me. Oh my god. Jeremy might be from the president trying to get new information about Hal. I didn't have to tell him anything new. Good luck with this line, Kens.
I don't want to read it.
Do it. I had to read Oops.
I give off heat. That's how the government found me. If you have the right equipment, you can see the heat around me. But for some reason, you can't feel it. Only that one time when the firemen came. But this writing is inconsistent and bullshit.
We can do that and show the press.
Then what kind of life do I have? They'll never leave me alone. Because for some reason, people are really interested in a kid who gives off a lot of heat.
I see your point. It's a difficult problem.
It really isn't.
The discussion was over. Just like that. Father Donut, said he'd keep an eye on me and call the Canadian Prime Minister if anything. Yeah, because this random priest just knows the Canadian Prime Minister's phone number.
Yeah, college. I became a priest, he became Prime Minister of Canada, we went on to good things.
A fun fact. In some of Justin Trudeau's old photos, you can see Father Donady in there.
Yes! There was nothing else to do for now. Who said youth is the happiest time? That's when we're most vulnerable! I couldn't even share this with my parents. One mistake on their part, and my future was ruined before I had it. All this started with damn Hal. Oh, she's getting edgy and swearing now. What was
Did you
Hal?
just say the D-A-M-N word?
Yeah. Would I ever
Good
know?
Christian girl, my ass.
Yes. And as for President Martin, I learned that somebody with eloquence may not have seen his powers of understanding receive any aid from education. Ignorance and deficiency of mental improvement could still remain. There's some quirk in their personality that keeps them from becoming wise. The president gave great orations, but he was a babe in the woods when it came to dealing with me. Please don't say that. Instead of shutting Jan up, why didn't he send her to talk to me? If she told me the president was worried, I'd agreed to meet with him somewhere. Excuse me. What was there in my history that made him think I could be trusted? It was like some of my fellow seniors. 12 years of education hadn't taught them a thing about human nature. They labeled people. They were suspicious. They bullied or were obnoxious in some way. It's almost like
Except
they're
me, because I'm awesome.
yeah, it's almost like they're real human beings. They were not worth much to themselves or anybody else. From age 10 when Hal merged with me, I had to try to make myself the best person I could. Oh, is this the best version of yourself, like in Stones to Abigail?
Why did Hal have anything to do with that? Shouldn't you strive to be the best person you could be anyway?
Seriously. If Hal wanted me to do something good, I was ready. If something bad, I wouldn't do it. President Martin should have left things alone. Should have left well alone. Okay,
I'm going to assassinate the president.
okay, and the stream is immediately on some watch list.
But I said it in Chill's voice, so they know it wasn't me.
Yes.
And that's the end of chapter 2.
That was a
So-
lot shorter than I expected.
Yeah.
So we've been doing this for over 80 minutes.
It's been an hour and 22 minutes. Let's try and go for at least 2.
How long
Chapter
is
3.
chapter 3? Because we cannot do this again.
I think we can do it.
Get Gemma's opinion first.
We did it last time, we can do it again.
Alright.
Yeah. Chapter 3. Oh, wait, I just wanted to say, okay, if Hal told you to do something bad, you wouldn't do it. How do you know it couldn't control you? But you're saying that this alien entity can do all these things. How do you know it can't just control your mind?
Because the will must, remember?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. The will must.
Sorry about that, my...
Boston College isn't a small college, and it's not in Boston. Thank you. Thank you for... It's a large university in Newton, Massachusetts, 6 miles from Boston. The location is as good as it gets. Newton is an upscale neighborhood. Downtown Boston is accessible on the T. Just say the fucking train, which has a terminus right next to the campus. A terminus? I hate you, Bhutan.
Nitpicking.
The campus itself is small enough to make walking to any part of it quick. BC has 9,000 undergraduates and a nationally known football team, but that's not why I went there. I got a full scholarship plus room and board. Of course you did. It had to be the work of Father Donati and the Cardinal. With these people fighting for me, I would be stretching my luck going on my way. Besides,
Because instead of using all of that goodwill money donated to the Catholic Church using to cover up all the pedophile priests, they're paying for this 16-year-old girl's college education.
Yeah. You see, this isn't even like propaganda like people were saying. This is just like delusion about what the church would do.
Church, government,
Yeah.
children, just pretty much everything a normal human being wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And they do it.
Besides, I had some responsibilities to my parents who were comfortably well off but not rich enough for astronomical tuition costs. Father Donati remained in Framingham, again probably to work with the cardinal. Priests are usually moved around more often. He was not too many miles from me, and I might move back to Framingham.
Usually they move around a lot when they're caught by the
Yeah.
church, fiddling a kid. But, why split hairs?
Every Frenchman wants to make a good first impression. The first night on campus, the girls wandered from room to room, socializing with their dormitory mates, as if the first day determined their social life for the next 4 years. I mean, that's not really the case, but as my father always told me, you only have one chance to make a first impression. I soon found how sheltered I'd been in Framingham compared to the sophisticated kids from New York and other big cities. Oh yeah, the kids from New York! Hey, I'm walking here! That night I realized I was not going to be the spark plug of the college scene.
Imagine
No
that,
one's paying
because
attention to me. Where?
Not
yeah,
just that, the spark plug?
it's almost like thousands of kids will attend one single college campus, making it literally impossible for everyone to know everyone.
I think I'm having an aneurysm.
Come on.
Just Framingham High had been the final definition of my life, neither would BC. Monday brought the chaos of finding my way around campus, finding the classrooms of my courses, which had been set up before I arrived, and standing in line at the bookstore. The assignments I got in my class seemed endless. Could anybody do all that work in a semester?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them can. After my last Monday class, I relaxed in my room to unwind. Then a group of girls invited me to join them at supper, and we walked to the cafeteria.
Oh, what fucking teenager says supper?
Yeah.
This really was written by an old man.
It's like Dracula. Will you sup with me? Okay, if any of these girls talk, we have to do a Dracula voice for one of them.
You mean you can?
Okay. Gladly. We got our
I
food
can
and sat
just
down.
Olak.
What's that?
You can count Olak.
Yeah. From long habit, I looked around the room. What is that supposed to mean?
It means she had a habit of looking around the room for a long time, but it was badly written.
Okay, that makes sense. There was a group of kids at a nearby table looking at me. Oh, and I'm not being condescending. I mean, like, you made sense to me. I'm just flabbergasted. A girl learns to read expressions. One boy
Only
was
girls.
a boy was intently looking at me. I just imagine him like sitting there, just like scowling at her.
Read the next one.
Just imagine Christian.
I called him Mr. Intense.
Not Christian.
Okay. He was very handsome with short
Really not Christian.
with short hair as black as my own. Or I'm sorry, with short hair as basketball American as my own.
Oh
And he
my
was around
God.
6 feet, which was a good match for my 5 feet 4 inches. I like taller guys, and apparently he likes smaller girls. No! No! Oh. Shorter! Shorter! Do not say smaller! He wasn't gawking.
Really? That's a pet peeve of yours, apparently?
No, just it. I mean, it sounds again just like Chris Hansen's about to show up.
Oh.
He wasn't gawking at a pretty girl or lusting for her body. He looked interested. And that's okay. A girl gets used to being looked at. But it wasn't
Actually, I hate it. It makes me self-conscious.
but it wasn't Mr. Intense who made the first move. A boy next to him, Mr. Fast Move, brought his food.
Only fast food.
Bhutan must have thought he was so fucking witty and clever with these nicknames.
Yes. Brought his food tray over to my table. Okay, so I'm assuming he just brought the tray, not his actual food. Like,
No. Mr. Fast Move, someone has to voice him like Sonic.
What? Oh,
Hi, said Mr. Fast Move. Can I sit here? Way past cool.
Hey kids, it's way cool to be touched by someone you like, but if a kid adult touches you in a way that makes you uncomfortable, that's no good.
no good.
Sure.
I said with a smile. I had been advised to be friendly from day one or be labeled a tease for the rest of our 4 years. I'm
Actually,
sorry.
it would be more of a tease to be overly friendly when you're not interested. If you're not interested, just say no thanks.
Yeah. I'm Jack the Hedgehog, said Mr. Fastmove. Aren't you Teresa Sullivan, the baseball player? I had
Is
been
that
on
Teresa Sullivan, world-renowned baseball player and all-around spectacular person?
Naturally. I had been on television a lot,
I am.
I said, and we were off and running. I noticed that Mr. Intense looked disappointed. It made me think of someone whose neighbor won the lottery. That night I looked up both Jack Hedgehog and Mr. Intense on the computer. BC provided free disk space, and all the students were urged to set up a web page about themselves before they got to school. Okay, this is something you do in middle school. This
Days
is not.
before Twitter.
Yeah. The kids' dormitories were listed, which made it easy to find people if you didn't know their names. It turned out that not only did Jack and Mr. Intense both live in my dormitory, they were 2 doors away from each other. So if Jack and I were an item, Mr. Intense was unlikely to interfere.
No college website would have make it public that where their dorms are. That is way creepy.
Yeah. Jack the what? Huh? Oh, you see, Darius, we said he nicknamed him Mr. Fast Move, so we decided that he had to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I read the computer screen. What was that?
I thought you were lost, so I was gonna tell you where we were.
Oh. I'm not that hopeless. Jack was a boy from close to New York City, but not in it. Riveting information. His father was an owner of a specialty food store. Jack was going to be a history major, a guarantee of a job in his father's store.
Bitch.
He became a Kotaku journalist.
Yeah, I'm not going to become a historian or anything. I'm just going to go back and work at my dad's store for the rest of my life. I guess Virginia Tech never happened in this universe. Student safety? What's that? Thank you, Mr. Coon. Mr. Intense was Steve Hartley. His father was a physicist for Intel, and Steve was majoring in physics too. That was interesting.
He had the more promising major, so of course I'm more interested. Got to get money!
He mentioned he was Catholic. Also interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. Now, if he had said he was one of them Jews. Students' personality showed in their personal pages. Steve's page showed the kid of a research physicist, precise, succinct, and somewhat lacking in spontaneity. Something like myself, actually. Oh my god. It wasn't a bad thing, except in reality TV shows where they have to keep the gab going all the time. What are you talking about? Jack was a genuinely nice guy, a good talker, and the stereotypical boy from New York City who had plenty of stories to tell. He seemed to be a gentleman.
Milady.
What?
Milady.
He wore a trilby everywhere he went, but called it a fedora. And when all the other guys were out at the club, he was learning the ways of the blade. Jack knew I was not the kind of girl who had to put up with foul language and crude jokes. And he carefully avoided them.
Or he could have just been, being more formal because when you're first meeting someone, you try to be on your best behavior.
Exactly.
But no, he talked to you for just a short while, and so he knows what kind of girl you are.
He was one smooth operator. We were,
Ugh.
we were soon seen eating in the cafeteria together, whenever our schedules allowed, and around campus generally. Okay, I'm wondering now, do you think that Jack is supposed to be, like, Bhutan's self-insert?
Well, no, I thought that Theresa was his fantasy self-insert.
Yeah,
Remember, he's Michael Jackson possessing Ike.
oh my god. That's too accurate. Now that you said, oh my god. Oh, that's gonna be in my head forever.
You're welcome.
One Sunday, Steve saw me at Mass. He looked embarrassed, like somebody who had missed his chance, not somebody who did something bad. Well, 4 years is a long time, and the campus had a lot of women. Steve seemed nice in person. He always gave me a little smile like he was glad to see me. He and Jack were casual friends and apparently didn't talk about me.
Imagine that!
And imagine, like, I smile when I see most people I know. Like, it doesn't mean that they're romantically interested, you twat.
And no, like, apparently didn't talk about me, as if you expected them to.
Yeah. But I'd seen the looks. Steve was genuinely interested.
Okay, you fucking mind reader.
Raptor?
I said simp. These
I
two are simps.
I didn't know what I felt about him. We never had a conversation alone. Wait, you just said that you spent, like, all this time, like, walking around campus together.
That was Jack, apparently.
I forgot that I forgot which one was which, I'm not gonna lie. There was nothing wrong with dating Jack for a while. It was already clear that we were not compatible enough for a lifetime of commitment. He was a little careless about schoolwork and had no passion for his major. A little careless about schoolwork? That's rich coming from you. I was fanatical about mine, but Jack was fun to be around for the time being. Yeah, I'm just gonna
use him.
Yeah. God. I'm glad we were on the same page about that one. But, I was walking out of biology lecture. You mean I was walking out of a biology lecture on the way back to the dorm to wait for lunch. What, so you get your lunch delivered to you? I know what it means, but just the way it's worded. When I heard an authoritative male voice.
Theresa Sullivan?
It was a campus cop.
Yes.
Oh no, it's a jerk op.
We have a problem! Christian is outside! He's trying to find a girlfriend again! Stop him!
There's no true love in Virginia!
Come on now, Raptor. He was not trying to find a girlfriend, just a boyfriend-free girl to be his gal pal.
We all know that was not true.
Totally innocent.
And we have a problem. Can you come to our office?
I don't know where it is. I'll follow you.
Yeah,
He's trying to tell her that Massachusetts is close enough to Virginia to mean that Massachusetts is in fact also for virgins.
A campus wasn't so big that you couldn't reach any central place in 5 minutes. Thank you for explaining how a campus works. I followed 100 feet behind... 100 feet behind the cop so people wouldn't notice? That just makes it sound like you're stalking him! We arrived at the campus police office. I was led to a conference room, nothing but a room with a long table and chairs and a grease port. We know what a conference room is. There were 9 police there, two 20-something guys, two Mc-20-something looking guys who looked like upperclassmen, and a priest in his 60s.
Well, I know why the police is there, or the priest is there.
The senior cop painted the picture.
This is BC President Father Walter Haynes.
He said.
I saw these two men following you around the campus. You know them?
I looked at the two men. They were either my watchers or nutcases. If they were watchers, they must not have said anything yet. They'd be ordered not to. But there they were, and the school had to be told something. I thought about all this a moment. Father Haynes interrupted my thoughts. You seem to be a very interesting young lady, Miss Sullivan. The Holy Father himself paid for your scholarship. Wait, God?
I mean, you know he's probably loaded.
Yeah. Oh, my eyes
Did
twitching.
he say why?
No, it's a big secret. Jesus Christ. I spoke to the two young guys, assuming they were watchers.
I've been here a week. It's not so easy following somebody on a campus, huh?
Hun.
Well, they are in Boston.
It isn't, said one of them, looking for guidance. They were watchers. I said,
It's gone too far. They'll go to the FBI and the newspaper. Call your boss.
he pulled out a cell phone and whispered to somebody. After a few moments, he said, he's calling the director.
Snoop!
I'm sorry, what? Soup?
Snoop.
Oh, yes.
The director is Snoop Dogg.
Sorry, I'm kind of hungry. Eyebrows went up around the room. The tension built as we waited for something to happen on the other end of the phone call. Then the watcher told me, the director is calling the President of the United States. Did I have everybody's attention now? You bet!
So they're just casually saying all this in front of campus cops who have no idea what's going on.
Naturally. Hey guys, I just want to assure you all in the chat, the you bet, I did not add that in. A few more moments and the watcher handed the phone to the senior cop. He wants to talk to you. The cop took the phone and read the riot act. Raptor.
Wait. No. I want to talk to you. Wait.
No, yes, sir.
No. Thanks. Sorry, I'm kind of confused right now.
The cop
His
took the
cat's
phone.
in the room. He got distracted.
Ah. Understandable.
Good boy.
No.
The cop took the phone and read the riot act.
Sir. Sir. No, sir. I understand, sir. I wouldn't want that either, sir.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Hey, sir, can I have some more?
What is it with Darcy?
Yes, milady.
Wanting to be
No,
the president?
milady.
After a minute, the senior cop handed the phone back to my watcher. He told everybody the facts of life. We will say nothing about this to anybody, not to each other, not to our wives, not to our dogs, because that's a natural thing to say. This situation does not exist, nor will it ever exist. That's all.
He says that, and then as soon as he leaves, he gets executed by the U.S. government because the U.S. government isn't going to trust a random campus cop.
I could have walked out in an instant, but hung around for a moment for effect. You're trying to be a dramatic actor. I looked at each person with an air of confidence. Why? I looked like I had the situation well under control, and they'd better listen to the prez. The prez! Fuck yourself. Then I walked out.
Smug bitch.
Come October, it was homecoming week, always a big weekend on any college campus. There were many special activities going on, and we had to choose a list. Don't you mean from a list? Friday nights, the kids would hang around meaning drift up and down the dormitory hall talking and joking with anybody there. Okay, I mean, it's not the most interesting thing, but that does count as hanging. Jack had suggested we go to a movie at 8. Excuse me. I went down to the second floor to hang around until movie time. Jack's door was open and I walked in. There were 6 boys visiting Jack, including Steve Hartley and 1 girl. Just say men or women. They're in college. Don't say that 6 boys were visiting him. As soon as I entered, everybody went silent. I knew something was very wrong. I waited as everyone looked embarrassed. The girl stood next to Jack. She looked possessive.
Oh, that's what this story needs, a fucking love triangle.
Fuck.
All right.
Manny, you're Jack.
Oh, okay. Hi, Theresa, said Jack with a lot of enthusiasm. This is Ginny.
Hey.
I said. There was not much else to say until I found out something. Ginny dropped in by surprise, Jack said.
Why
Yeah.
do you need to establish this? Like, you're entitled to have female friends.
Yes. But, again, I don't think Bhutan knows how real life works. The Prez... Oh, no, the father, it was spelled Prez with a Z. 3 days later, the campus cop was killed in a mysterious hit and run with no suspects ever identified. Another loose end silenced to keep the magic foxball girl a secret.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that. I couldn't remember seeing her around campus, or at least not in our complex. She might be somebody from outside. Someone from the outside.
Yeah, go figure that you haven't seen her on campus. Campus has thousands of students.
Oh, it's someone from the outside world, from the long, long ago. The embarrassing silence continued. Jenny looked very uncomfortable. She had known no more about me than the other way around. Jenny's position near Jack made it clear she considered herself his girlfriend.
That's not what that means.
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything to say, Jack?
I asked. I'll be up in a few minutes. Way past cool. I went back upstairs. This was the most humiliating experience I ever had. All those boys were watching.
So, what, did you think he was banging her in front of all of his friends? Like, she was sitting next to him.
Okay, I'm so glad that I wasn't the only one who thought that.
Like, she could have been with one of the other guys and just have been sitting close to him.
All I can say is, Kenzie, I'm sorry that you don't have any White Claws left, and Raptor, I'm sorry that you're too young to drink. So, two-timing Jack was coming up for a last look, was he? I'd give him something to look at.
Oh.
Phrasing.
Oh, shit!
I went to the closet and pulled out my little black nothing. I'm sorry, what?
Okay, little black dress is a thing.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever said little black nothing.
It was a backless dress made of flimsy, clingy material. It was something... Okay, so yeah, it's a dress. You could have just said little black dress. It was something appropriate for a party, but in my room with no other girls to look at, Jack would find it hard to forget. He deserved the VIP treatment. 6
Did you
inches...
care?
6 inches above the knee wasn't a big deal these days, but to make it more interesting, I folded back the hemline 3 more inches inside the skirt and taped it. Now that was a dress.
Someone kill me.
Even with this book, I cannot believe what I just read. I put it on and looked in the full-length mirror on the door. Yup, this would kill Jack.
This would actually kill him.
Mr. Kuhn, I really don't like where this is going.
Keep going, it gets great.
He'd promise.
He'd promised to throw Ginny out the window if I took it back.
Yeah, no one has ever done that ever.
Sorry, Jack. Too late for that. I'm sorry. I actually got a little lightheaded there. Oh. I waited a few minutes. There was no knock on the door. I sat on the bed and turned on the television. They were showing the early part of the Kane Mutiny. I'd seen it before. Captain Queeg was a paranoid personality who couldn't take adversity. It made him a dictator on the ship. He made his men miserable with his inflexible demands. Later, there would be an ultimate crisis, a monstrous typhoon that threatened to sink the ship. Why are you telling us about another film?
I've heard of this film. Who cares about it?
That's when the captain lost it, and his chief mate, Merrick, took over the ship on the grounds that the captain was nuts.
Still talking about it!
I don't know why we're surprised at this point, but as a reward for his courageous saving of the ship, Merrick was put on trial for mutiny. My dad, who'd been in the Navy, read the book and said half of it was about a love story between Ensign Keith and a girl who wanted to be a singer. Who cares? Eventually, her career took off and she left the ensign. Dad guessed that this boring love story meant something to the author, but it dragged down the book. The movie
Imagine that!
Yeah. The movie producers wisely dropped the singer's story and concentrated on the mutiny. It worked because the chief mate's willingness to sacrifice. I'm skipping.
You should have taken the movie producer's advice, Bhutan.
I know something similar in a book called The Robe, which my grandmother gave me.
Another one?
It was written by a Methodist. Oh. A Catholic reading a book by a Methodist. Tisk tisk. It was written by a Methodist minister who filled it with quotes from the Bible. It was a spectacular best-selling book in World War II when the world looked like it was falling apart, but it probably bombed today. In the Hollywood movie starring Richard Burton, all the Bible quotes were dropped, and they concentrated on the conflict between Burton and Caligula. I'm sorry? Caligula?
I'm guessing they're going with the Emperor. Come on.
Okay, but Burton and his girl marched off to martyrdom from a more dramatic Emperor's throne room scene than was in the book. Sometimes subtle messages work better than speeches. That's
Who's talking?
But then, Raptor, that's how I operate. Press X to doubt. I could have criticized Jack in front of his friends for dating me without telling about Ginny, but I said nothing. I let people think it out for themselves.
You know, you guys were just apparently meeting up for lunches. What? Were you guys even really dating?
Yeah, that was never established, now that you mention it. The movie ended with the Kane sailing back out to sea. Who cares? Okay, no. The next movie was one of those horrible made-for-TV Walking Dead movies. I couldn't stand them and turned off the TV. Thank you! The problem with that trash is it didn't... Oh, of course he's going on about it. Is it didn't address an individual's decisions in life. It was insulting to avoid challenging the viewer's ideas as if his ideas didn't matter. Pot, kettle. At least in the Kane Mutiny... Shut the fuck... Shut up! Shut up about the Kane Mutiny!
Who cares about the Kane Mutiny?
Watching it.
I stared at my roommate's wall. There was nothing to do, and I was milking my loneliness. People who never went to college believed it was one continuous party. No one actually thinks that. That's another movie cliche. In fact, parties were rare.
Also not true, though.
Yeah. Some colleges had nearby drinking spots just outside the campus where kids crowded in until the fire codes were broken twice over, but BC wasn't like that. It was all residential zone and no commercial. College life was mostly studying and killing time with inane activities. It was a test. If you could stand this life for 4 years, you could stand anything. A lot of kids went nuts and dropped out.
Then maybe that's just not a good school.
I concur. After half an hour moping on my bed... Okay, no, you watched an entire movie. It was much longer than half an hour. I moved to my desk and resumed moping. Painting through
Oh, no one will pay attention to me.
milking my loneliness. That's what I'm calling wanking now. Thank you, Mr. Coon. That's what we needed.
Thank you.
They've been dating as much as Chris Chan has dated anyone. Painting through old magazines was my pretense of doing something. The truth was I was desperately lonely. We know. I thought of going downstairs to see what was going on, but after the scene in Jack's room, my loneliness would be too obvious.
What scene? There wasn't really. You came in,
Oh no!
said hi. He said, "I'll be up in a bit." Said okay and left.
No, Kenzie, you see, there was a scene. She started it. She made the scene because he's like, "Hey, this is my old friend Ginny," and she was like, "Oh, hi," and then stomped out like a jealous bitch.
Probably.
I still had
then called her possessive.
Yeah, I still had a little pride.
Yeah, you have a lot of pride.
It was amazing how quiet it could be on the girls' floor. What, you mean the girls all just have one floor to themselves?
Some college dorms are like that.
Oh, okay. I retract that then. That was another thing people got wrong. Okay, fuck you, Bhutan. It was now nearly 9 o'clock and I was near tears. There was nobody around who cared for me. There wasn't one person I could...
How could this happen to me?
There was one person I could walk up to and call friend to their face. Okay, I'm gonna rip off BCP here, but crawling in my skin.
Well, what happened to those group of girls that you went to dinner with, and that's how you met Jack in the first place? Consistency, what's that?
There was a knock on the door.
Come in,
I said. Steve Hartley walked in. He walked up close to my desk and said, who wants to be Steve?
Me.
Okay.
Ginny is Jack's hometown girlfriend. We've been seeing each other for years.
Okay, Steve Hartley's a serial killer.
Yes.
He was supposed to show up next week, but he came early.
So, full stop. It was going to be all over anyway.
Did you know about her?
No. None of us did.
Oh god, she's turning into Chris Hansen. Have a seat.
Wait, the father says, I hurt myself today to see if my skin still crawls.
Come on, my cat wants to see my womb.
I indicated the bed. Oh god, no.
Ooh.
He sat down on the edge of it. We looked at each other. I must have looked pretty sad after a miserable evening. I sensed that he was aware of how lonely I'd been, but somehow I didn't mind his knowing.
Anything going on in the dorm?
I suggested.
It's an all-night card game.
Nothing but the rock star lifestyle in Boston College.
One second. Okay, I heard about the boys playing cards all night. You would think something exciting was going on, but all they did was throw cards around. That's not a card game. There was no intelligent conversation possible when all you did was look at your cards. What did they do it?
God, this is a what it is.
Again, being a judgmental bitch.
Yeah.
So what is it?
He glanced at my legs. Oh god, please don't. My hemline
No, keep going, keep going.
My hemline was practically up to my hips when I sat down. Nothing excited boys more than a shirt skirt. A shirt skirt.
The next line.
Skirt. Bikinis didn't do as much.
I think OnlyFans would disagree.
Weep.
Okay, anyone can draw me a shirt skirt? Then you'll win for the night.
So you two are males.
Yes.
So this is mostly directed at Manny because I don't feel comfortable asking this to you, Raptor, a teenager. So tell me, Manny, what would get your dick harder more? Just a short skirt, because I think that's pretty much what Bhutan meant, or a bikini, or neither, because you don't get an erection at everything.
Yeah, the third one.
That's what I thought. How about you guys in the chat? Ones that are over 18.
Yes.
Not to cut you out, Raptor, but
Understand.
I'm gonna be the adult here. Shirt skirts are optimal clothing attire. It's a shirt for your skirt.
Just walking around like with a t-shirt around her legs.
Teresa, that's a interesting accessory shirt. Oh, it's not my shirt. This is a shirt for my skirt.
Is a dress a shirt skirt? It has a shirt half and a skirt half. That's a fair question, Mr. Kun.
Okay, well, certain shirts or certain dresses are designed like that to look like a two-piece, so
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
not what it's called, but
Okay, so picturing her with a shirt around her legs, I'm just picturing Charlize Theron in Arrested Development. Mr. F.
alright, let's keep going. But Darius does say the third one.
Yeah. How down bad was Bhutan while writing this? Jeez.
Well, I
And,
mean, he is quite into his golden years, so I don't even think he can get it up at this point.
probably not.
And we're all better off for it.
Yes. And Kenzie, it's your line.
You're quiet, Steve. Something on your mind.
Yeah. You want me to leave?
What the fuck is this line? This is okay. I'm mad because I'm sure that she was meant as a joke, but it's still the most manipulative bullshit. If you leave now, I'll have to kill myself.
Jesus
Suicide baiting with
Christ.
Empress Theresa.
It took a few seconds before Steve got the joke and laughed.
It was
Suicide baiting is so hilarious.
See, I'm just picturing like looking around nervously, like, yeah, call the fucking cops. The ice was broken, and we each had that little smile of people comfortable in their situation. Liar! Next came planning the Knights campaign. The Knights campaign! Yeah, we're gonna invade the Britons now.
Alright, we've got Star Wars prequel levels of cheesy bullshit dialogue. Will you stay with me a while, Steve?
I want to.
I don't like sand. It's rough and coarse and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
From my point of view, Jedis are evil.
Cameron Connolly says, nothing would make me want to leave a room more.
And Mr. Kuhn, third one. I'm hoping Hal kills this guy. The first thing it does after decades is slay a thirsty guy.
Okay. I smiled.
I think we can find something interesting to talk about.
I stood up and reached for a deck of DVDs high on my bookcase. The DVDs were of the famous BBC production series Victoria.
How much more pop culture is this guy gonna fit in the first few chapters?
I don't know, but it's like, oh, we've made an electric connection with each other. He's looking at my legs. What are we gonna do? We're gonna watch a documentary.
You ever watch this, Steve?
No.
You'll like it, even though I barely know you.
See, like the way the no, I just imagine like no, like oh, so this is where the
I've
night's
just
going, is it?
decided you'll like it. You will like it.
Okay, are
I
we
will
getting
kill
into?
you if you don't.
Is this Deliverance now?
Hmm.
I said while walking over to, or not, Misery. Uh,
I'm your number one fan.
yeah, yeah. Tell me, Steve, have you ever seen Misery? Actually, no, I haven't. Then you're about to learn, or this is going to be a whole new situation for you. I said while walking over to put the first disc in the player.
An 18-year-old girl becomes Queen of England and Empress of the British Empire. Everybody wants
Subtlety.
something from her. Hang on. She survives
Subtlety.
8 assassination attempts. You wonder how a teenage girl got through it. You wonder if you'd have the nerve to take on what she did.
Head meat fest.
Spoilers.
Subtlety. Subtlety and foreshadowing. On one.
Yes.
Maybe.
I indicated that he move over a couple of feet and sit back against the pile of cushions. I sit next to him with my left arm in reach of my desk.
We have officially hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we gotta finish this chapter though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I know. I'm sorry.
I wanted to make it a reasonable time.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You know, my little Gemma voice in the back of my head was telling me, this is more interesting than that playing cards, don't you think?
God damn it.
Yeah.
He said with a smile. Okay, now I'm just picturing Jack as Charlie Sheen's
Steve.
character in whatever. Who cares? I'm picturing him as Charlie Sheen's character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the stoner at the police station.
I never thought of that.
You'll
Hey.
get used to me soon, Steve. God willing. Run, Steve. We have to get over this awkward moment.
The feelings of an 18-year-old boy in this close encounter weren't hard to guess. I felt safe. There was no way he was going to try to take advantage of me like some boy who would keep trying to get something that wasn't his right. Anyway, I could throw him out the window.
College dorm windows don't usually open. At least mine didn't.
No, you are correct.
Except like really, really old ones.
Yeah.
But they had a screen that you could not open.
Oh my god, are you serious? Victoria was made for the English who already knew the story. It was very complicated, blah 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 blah. I had to explain the characters and their motivations. Okay, just say that you did it. Don't actually do it to us. Steve seemed interested. There was much to talk about. We both marveled at the responsibility the girl took on. She could have withdrawn in her castle and ignored everything going on in the world. She went out to be seen by the people despite assassination attempts, and made heavy decisions like sending a band of traitors to Australia instead of letting them being drawn and quartered. Her uncle is
Blah,
next
blah,
in
blah, blah,
line,
blah.
blah blah blah. Girl, I have made mistakes and perhaps I won't, blah blah blah. We took 2 breaks during the night to go downstairs and get little snacks from the food machine. Some people saw us at 2 a.m., which was sure to start rumors. By daylight, we were giggling from fatigue.
Is she still in that dress?
She didn't say she was changing out of it, so I'm saying yes. We went to breakfast. I was still wearing my little black nothing dress, which stood out at breakfast. It was obvious from our demeanors that we'd been up all night. Girls gave us the eye. I didn't care. Let them think what they wanted. We hadn't done anything we couldn't tell our parents. Nosy girls filled our table and asked what we did all night.
Girls don't care.
No,
Stop the fucking presses. People may have banged in college.
I love though that he was going on about how the high school characters weren't cliches, but now the college characters are.
Yeah, the college girls are the stereotypical high school girls.
Yep,
Nothing.
I said. Sure, Teresa. Steve joked.
Video is up on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe to my epic channel. Remember to turn notifications on and leave a comment down below for more
Be
videos.
sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, we totally banged. Like, comment, subscribe. We
Oh
suddenly,
my god. The next sentence.
we suddenly had lots of friends. Unattractive couple was invited to everything.
They're sexually active. I want to be friends with them.
Why?
And then maybe I can be sexually active.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
I don't know. I wanted to stop 20 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
Well, keep going. We have a few pages left.
Whatever you say. Steve and I were perfect for each other, of course you were. We'd spend hours together without talking, or we could chatter like 8-year-olds when the mood struck us. I fell for him like a 15-year-old girl in her first love, because really, Steve was my first love. He was too smart to take advantage of me. He also felt he'd found the right mate and didn't want to mess things up. We had differences in interests and opinions, but nothing critical. Taking a hit from comments of our parents and grandparents, we promised not to try to change each other. That's what kills a lot of marriages. Oh, yes, the 16-year-old girl is going to tell us about the real world. Nobody can
Teresa.
Nobody could change a spouse, and if you even wanted to, hadn't the marriage already failed? We promised that Teresa would always be Teresa, Steve would always be Steve, unless Manny got it wrong and called him Jack again, and that's the way it would be forever. It was
Bhutan, have you ever been married? Something you want to tell us?
Something tells me it was like a drunken night at Vegas thing with him. His marriage lasted all of like 12 hours.
That sounds too fun for Bhutan.
Yeah. It was like the situation with Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson we studied in American history class. Shut the fuck up about presidents.
Skip it. No, wait. Go. Hamilton spent. Start there.
Hamilton spent his youth on a horrible Caribbean island that made Devil's Island look good. It was the last refuge of criminals trying to escape the law. Slaves had a 5-year life expectancy. Human life had no value. So Jefferson trusted human nature and wanted a nation of gentlemen farmers with little government. Hamilton thought men were scum and wanted a strong central government in control. Between Jefferson's Declaration of Independence and Louisiana Purchase and Hamilton's central bank and other government institutions, these two men built the America we know. So
I just wanted to include the line of slavery in case Cobe watches this to throw him a bone.
Yes. Good on
Have
you.
at it.
So why did they fight each other in the cabinet? They were founding a nation. They should have been friends. Like those two founding fathers, Steve and I had different childhoods. I had Hal to worry about since age 10.
Why 10. Do you have to worry about him? Hasn't done anything.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot about Hal for a while. I had to consider that someday I would have to take part in world affairs. That's the sound I want to make with my head in my desk right now. What would happen if the world found out about Hal? It would be chaos. That's why the government was watching me day and night. My father said I'd be captain of my ship and had to learn all I could about the world.
Because keep in mind, remember, that her dad had spent some time in the Navy, so everything he says has to be a metaphor for Navy stuff.
Of course. Okay, yeah, well, I might be captain of a lot more than my ship, Dad! I took an interest in politics, sociology, and history. I was the most boring girl on campus, though not enough to want a career in any of them. Steve had 2 sisters and a brother, happily married parents, and a good family income. If he had a theme song, it would be Everything is Beautiful in Its Own Way. Just go to hell. He wanted to be a physicist like his father and had no interest in politics. He was Jefferson, who thought people would turn out all right, and I was Hamilton, worried about the worst. But we never argued. That's not a
Because
good
conflict
thing.
is cringe.
We got along beautifully. Steve was years ahead of boys his age. So you weren't like other girls. Yeah,
He wasn't like other boys.
he understood that a girl wants romance, not sex just to fulfill some urge.
There are plenty of girls who want just as casual hookups in college as boys.
Oh, yeah. He did nothing ungentlemanly the first time he entered my dorm room, despite my compromising situation.
Simp.
You were the one
Again.
coming on to him. Okay, whatever. He wanted a lifetime
Simp.
commitment as I did. Despite almost universal skepticism, there really are gentlemen like Steve in the world, and every girl wants to be a lady who catches one.
He also probably didn't want to get arrested because you're also still 16.
Yeah. And also, every girl wants to be a lady who catches one. Kenzie, to take a page from your book, only fans would beg to differ. The current Miss Massachusetts was at BC. Of course she was. She went out with a guy with glasses and an extroverted, jolly personality that reminded me of Jeff Winslow, my high school steady. This was
Was
not.
he?
Glad we're just meeting him now and not, back in your high school chapter.
This was not what people would call a man's man, but eat your hearts out, guys. He was dating Miss Massachusetts. I found out that the previous year he had been the steady escort of that year's Miss Massachusetts, too. The escort. He found the secret of dating outstanding women. He treated them like ladies. Oh, so he's a nice guy, ladies.
Bhutan's a simp.
So it was with Steve. I noticed girls look at us with envy. They would see we had that eternal love of a Disney full strength and full length animated movie. I cannot read. Someday my prince will come, sang Snow White. Yeah, well, I had my prince.
If they don't break up,
AIDS.
I am done with this book. Never have I rooted for a couple to break up so badly.
And
The girl's a minute later. The man's a simp.
In a month, we knew we'd get married and we wanted it soon. Well, really, now. Could we go 4 years without doing it?
Giggity.
Mom and Dad raised the parental eyebrows when they learned of our plans following a whirlwind court.
Yeah, you've been dating a month.
Yeah, they walk around talking to each other. Whoa, what a whirlwind. Fortunately, Father Donati got to know Steve well at our meetings to plan the wedding. Father convinced my parents that Steve was as fine a boy as I was ever likely to meet. While we were young, he'd found that some young couples were still together 60 years later. There was nothing to indicate our marriage wouldn't work, except common sense.
I beg to differ. You guys have never once lived together. You've never. I'm going to assume that you guys are being, little good Christian kids and not, doing the nasty. So you probably have no idea of what you guys are sexually compatible. And you guys have been dating a month. Of course, you guys are still on your best behavior.
And again, I have to bring up the whole we never argued or fought. That's not normal. That means you're holding in a lot of stuff.
Well, no, I think it is perfectly normal for a couple to not argue in the first month of dating because they're both trying to, put on that act, still testing the waters out with each other. It's not. You want to really know how compatible you are with someone, get them drunk. That is the honest way of meeting someone.
Very true. On the other hand, discouraging it might cause harm. It was a dilemma for my parents. Eventually, they approved. It all came down to one question. Did Steve and I know what we were doing? No.
No.
Father Donati had seen many young marriages fail and knew the reasons. He believed Steve and I would succeed. The large Sullivan clan had waited for years to
Yes,
see...
follow the advice of someone who has taken a vow to never be married.
Yep. Can't go wrong there. The large Sullivan clan had waited for years to see this girl's wedding, and they weren't disappointed. But so it's happening right now. I was gorgeous as a recently turned 18-year-old.
Wait, you were sick? What?
So wait, it went from a month to 2 years. For the church service, I wore a two-piece wedding gown, a floor-length wide skirt with spaghetti. I don't care.
Skip.
And now we set off to find...
Oh, no. Read the last sentence.
At the reception, the jacket and train came off, and my shoulders and cleavage charmed the crowd.
Bhutan, go fuck yourself.
And now we set off
to
find out what life was all about. Henry David Thoreau was a 19th century philosopher who lived not too far from Boston. He spent a year in a one-room shack in the woods next to Walden Pond to find himself. He said other men could journey to Africa to shoot giraffes all they wanted, but he preferred to stay home and shoot himself. What he
explains
meant
it.
Was you should explore... Oh, I know, just... Good God. What he meant was you should explore your inner self.
That's not a good metaphor for that.
You'll find you own a territory greater than the Russian Tsar's men. Men tried to prove their courage by going to unexplored jungles, hunting lions with spears, or climbing the tallest mountain. But they don't have the courage to examine themselves. Thoreau said that, not me. Blame him.
No, I'm blaming you for bringing it up.
I'm blaming you for everything, Bhutan. I hate you. I've never met you, and I hate you with my entire being. Anyway, Steve and I would explore ourselves and each other. We hope to like what we found.
Oh my.
Okay, yeah, innuendo aside, as we were saying earlier, that's something you do before you marry. We moved into a small apartment for our privacy during the summer break. It belonged to a retired couple who spent all the war months touring the United States in an RV, something a lot of retirees did, we learned. Steve's father gave us a new Chevrolet as a wedding present. I was driving the car alone one Saturday to go grocery shopping, thinking of the wonderful future waiting for me.
And we're done.
Yes.
Okay.
It was painful.
Kenzie, I apologize. I know we went over time, but we finished 2 chapters this time.
I apologize too.
Was it worth it?
Is any of this actually worth it?
Well, no. But I was okay ending it back at chapter 2.
I know. I'm sorry.
Because now I'm mad.
How can I make it up
And
to
not
you?
because of the time, but because chapter 3 just pissed me off.
I'll make it up to you somehow. Okay, so, aside from it pissed me off, any other final thoughts?
Bhutan?
Want to commit jump die.
Fair.
Bhutan. You have a very strange, fucked up view of relationships and marriage. And I think you need to rethink about that.
I agree. And I also think that you need to be locked away and never around any small children. And Darius, just because I know you want to taunt us, we have read 56 pages.
Go fuck yourself.
Was it worth it? Yes, you use less time overall on this book. Okay. Oh wait, and Mr. Kuhn said in reference to the wedding, charmed the crowd. You mean her family? Yes, yeah. Her family were just ogling her shoulders and cleavage. This is
One of
either a dream sequence or this is a terrible timeline. I'm sorry, Cameron, but it is the latter.
want to drink bone hood and juice.
Will you pour me a glass?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna go eat pizza.
Yeah,
I'm upset.
I'm gonna go eat pizza or just drink myself into a stupor.
I need to feed Eli too.
Yes, feed Eli. Okay,
Darius, I swear to God.
Darius, I like you. I consider you a friend.
Yeah, I was also
But
good correcting yourself. 411. I was gonna say that's not how math works.
But if you continue this, I am going to find where you live. I'm going to go there and I'm going to punch you in the face. Out of love. 1/8. But 8 is bigger than 4. I'm sorry, Rudy. I love you.
Where'd he go?
Probably to sleep. They started their job, so they get up at 5:30 in the morning. No.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm almost not going to drink tonight, but not anymore. Now you know how I feel.
We're alcoholic enablers.
Yes. Drink up, kids.
Bhutan, this is what you do to us.
Alright, guys, so,
Last week I made sure to point out that Raptor was 17 and thus should not drink. Raptor, go have at it.
Yeah.
Your parents keep all the good shit on their top shelf.
Yeah, if they question what you're doing, just have them read one page of that book, and they'll be like, "We're sorry, son, we understand."
The next question is, son, why'd you buy this?
Yeah. So, okay, I realize I skipped, my Young Justice stream last weekend. Just with everything that was going on that day, I did not feel up to it, but I promise I'm going to get back to it this Sunday. So I hope to see you guys there, and if not, then we will be back next Wednesday. Kenzie and I will be, hopefully with Gemma. But either way, and then next Thursday for, yeah, you know. So Kenzie, Raptor, thank you both for joining me. Everyone in the chat, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Same bean time, same bean channel.